And this figure, I think it, and I'm not sure, it might be the new president-elect, because he was supported, he got a lot of support from the US government.
A lot of money.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to Seder Soul Sailing. My name is Victoria Stensey.
And I'm Darwin Holmstrom.
We're in Guatemala, and right now there's a lot of things going on here, so we decided to do a reading for the future of Guatemala.
We're actually trapped in Guatemala because manifestaciones, protests, have locked down the entire country, and we need to go to Mexico, and we aren't able to leave, so
yeah,
we're trapped in our boat.
We're trapped in the boat.
Hopefully with food.
Yeah, food supply has been going down. They're allowing some trucks to come in, but it's
not many.
Not many. So we were kind of selfishly curious about how things are going to develop, and we'll get right into that. Okay, to start, we got our signifier, which is very fitting. It's the Ace of Wands, and this represents the people right now. Like, there has been protests now and peaceful protests at that, for 8 days, I think. And it's mostly been farmers and people from, like, the countryside.
Workers,
yeah. And the reason for it is that they just had an election, and the current government refuses to recognize the new president, which is supposed to step in. So people are very infuriated, and they want members of the current government to step down, which they refuse to do.
There's the people in Guatemala are extremely intelligent, knowledgeable, well-informed people. They don't have CNN, Fox News, and MSNBC here. So
lucky them.
Yeah,
they're taking what they see, and they've been suppressed for a long time.
They're not, I mean, since the Dole company started shipping bananas out of here, really. But the people they don't exactly expect this new leader that was elected to be their savior, and they're very suspicious of this person.
At least some of them are. I think there's always a part of people that hopes this will be the one that is actually anti-corruption, which he claims to be. We're not so sure about it.
But even the people that aren't wholeheartedly supporting this new government are very infuriated that the election results aren't being carried out. So there's a lot of agreement across the board for different reasons, but people aren't happy with the government here right now. And
this is them kind of desiring this new beginning, and it's coming from fire and passion, like, okay, we're ready to take a stand. And it's coming from this is similar energy to the Ace of Wands. This is just more personalized. This is kind of like this youthful rebellion where people are finally ready to stand up and move forward on something. Like, there's always been some levels of unrest here, but there hasn't been too many protests and revolts against the government.
This is this is the root card.
Yeah. Sorry.
And as the root card, this is the tree that grew out of the root. Mm-hmm. This was the impulse that led to this, and what we're experiencing now is the result of this impulse. Mm-hmm. And
in the present moment, we got another wand card, and this is them like standing their ground. Right, but they're also being attacked, and what we're seeing now is that there's a lot of police forces that are coming in. They claim that, and I believe they're right. There are people that have been put in by the government to create violent chaos, and thus giving the police and the military reason to shut it down, because it's legal protest. I mean, they're allowed to block roads. They're
civil unrest.
Yeah, civil unrest is legal, but once it gets violent, they have an excuse to shut it down. So I think this card is somebody who has the higher ground, because they have the numbers for sure. It's just that I don't think they expect it, or maybe they did, but there was nothing they could do about people being put in among them that are actually on the other side. So that's what we're dealing with right now.
There are agent provocateurs coming in and creating excuses for the police to attack with tear gas. Yesterday they started doing that. They started unleashing their Pinkertons, their thugs on the protesters.
And we see that they are the overall situation is another ace. I really believe this will be some kind of new beginning, and I'm not sure if it's going to go smoothly, but that's the energy that's in there. Like, people have had enough, and a lot of it has to do with the economical situation. So I think the overall situation is like, what they want is really just to have enough to live well, and they're not demanding much. This is not a very materialistic country. They just want enough food on the table, and
it's a very poor country.
Yeah.
But it's poor in sheer numbers of like wages and things like that. But the people here live really well for the most part. You don't see a lot of poverty, or you don't see a lot of wealth. You just see a lot of people just living and growing their crops, and
they have community, which is something that's lacking in the Western world.
It's very beautiful here. The people, most amazing people live in Guatemala.
Yeah.
We really love the people. The temperature, the weather.
We don't love so much, but
bit
they
hot
can't
for
help
us.
it. That's not their fault.
It gets a little
Too much.
caliente,
little
in
caliente.
the summertime, all year long actually here. And here's the gateway.
They're working right now, and I think they're working themselves. I think they're realizing that whoever is in the government won't really provide this. They have to do it themselves. Like, this is coming from below again, and they just have to keep on working on, self-sufficiency and kind of living outside of the system, which I think they're accustomed to doing that because they haven't had the governmental support that you find in so many other countries.
This country, they don't really have a term for living off grid because
That's what everyone does.
we're about
mostly.
7 hours from Guatemala City. We're in Rio Dulce. It's a giant national preserve. It's very beautiful here. And pretty much everybody lives off grid here. That's just life.
That's just life, and they have to continue doing that. That's the gateway, and it's simple. I think they're going to do it.
In fact,
Now
their fears.
they fear generosity, and I think that is like at least a part of the people that are protesting right now. They're afraid that the government's going to come forward with some kind of generous offer and try to win them over with something, because then a lot of people will be giving in because they're offered the bare minimum, and they might be promised this. They might not come through. We know how politicians are, so I think they're afraid of like some kind of middle path that won't really be enough in the long run.
They don't trust the government.
No.
This new president that was elected, nobody really knows him, and nobody, in a way, he's the devil they don't know, which actually...
It fits perfectly. When we laid this out, I was like, yeah, this is in the astrological energies, and it fits with this. It fits with their fear, because I think it's, this has to do with temptation and trickery, and I think they're going to be offered something, or they're going to be presented with some kind of person that will seem better than he or she actually is. That's coming in, and some people might be giving into that because it's very nice to have a savior, but this is not a savior.
But they want this to end. This is this modifies the fears.
Yeah,
They're passionate about completing their work.
yeah, and doing it themselves.
And let me tell you, people here work hard.
Oh yeah,
It's a wonderful place to work on your boat because you can get the best craftsmanship with the greatest people to work with. It's these people know how to do the work, and they're ready to bring this thing to completion. They're passionate about it.
yeah. And this figure, I think and I'm not sure, it might be the new president-elect, because he was supported. He got a lot of support from the U.S. government.
A lot of money.
Yeah, a lot of money for his campaign.
For Guatemala, a lot of money. It wouldn't buy a congressional district candidate one television ad in the United States, but it was a lot of money for Guatemalan campaigns.
That's a red flag right there. And also, it's modified by the Five of Pentacles, which is saying that, this person might be promising this and that.
He might be promising this, but delivering this.
Yeah. So that's a danger here. This temptation.
They might be right to fear this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. And also what they want in their desire position. We got the Eight of Cups, and this is a transition. This is going from one place to another, leaving something behind, and even though it's murky and they don't really know what's coming, that's what they want. They want to undergo the scary journey to something post-systemic.
Post-systemic, post-corruption.
Yeah.
They're ready to take control of their own futures, their own destinies.
And they have this energy going for them. That's modifying the Knight of Swords. And it's the very same with their fears. They got the passion, they got the energy to do this right now. They've had enough. Yeah, they've had enough, and they're really ready to move forward regardless if it's going to be a bit difficult. And in their psychological future, we got the Seven of Pentacles. We got a lot of pentacles, a lot of wands. And this is also like, you know, them waiting for their harvest. They're waiting to be heard. They're waiting for the protest to come through. And that's what's happening now. Like, is this going to work? And they really don't know. And then in the future,
they still won't know, but they're going to have to make a decision.
Yeah, this pops up in every single reading. It's so important right now.
Yeah, I think Neptune is messing with the Earth in a big way right now.
Yeah,
because everything's murky.
Yeah, nothing's black and white.
Nothing's clear.
Yeah.
There's no roadmap for what the world is going through right now.
No, and it's going to be such a big change, and things there's so much misinformation out there that it's really hard to see what is what. In the final outcome, we got the Five of Cups, and this speaks of loss. This speaks of like regret too, and like looking back and kind of missing the old. And this might come after. I think things might be getting worse before it gets better, no matter which choice they make. Because there's just so much trauma. There's so much trauma, and there's so much toxic ways that the government has been like manipulating things in all countries, right? So they're going to be sad that certain things that they've been used to will be gone, I think. Yeah, but other things will be available. Yeah.
They just have to not focus on what they've lost to see what they still have and what's available to them.
The Five of Cups is modified by the Hermit, which is them going within, I think. I think it has to do with like a period of long reflection about life, about how they want to live, about how they want this country to be. So it's kind of like sitting with the loss of the old and really being patient.
They're going to have to wait for the crops to come in.
Yeah.
This is not going to end tomorrow. This is not going to magically be resolved in a short period of time. They're going to have to take some time and reflect on what they want.
Yeah.
On not just what they've lost, but what they still have and what they can do. And I think the people of Guatemala are well equipped to do that.
Yeah.
They just have to wait for their crops to come in. They planted the seeds.
It's going to take some time, but they have a willingness to do it. They're actually very ready to go through this transit, even though it's kind of scary and there's a lot of uncertainty involved.
They're going to do the work they need to do to get through. This is the gateway card.
Yeah.
This is what opens everything up. The past, the future, the present, the personal, and the events. This ties everything together, and they're willing to do the hard work needed to get where they want to go. They just need to discover where that is. And none of us know right now.
No, we just want to get to Mexico right now. For being honest, we're all for the protests. It's just we're kind of trapped right now. So
the trucks delivering produce haven't been coming to town. So
no ensalada. I mean, we need our salad.
we're not we're omnivores, but we primarily eat whole vegetables.
Yeah.
And a little bit of meat, some eggs, but
no, we just eat canned food. It's very sad. We're suffering a lot now. It's all good. We really hope that. Well, we really hope that this gets resolved. It looks like a bumpy ride ahead.
We're looking forward to coming back from Mexico with abundant produce in the markets and our banana hammock being full.
I think that's it. Overall, good but difficult reading. We stand with the Guatemalans. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if there's any topic that you want us to cover and do a reading for, please comment below. Like and subscribe, and contact us if you want a personal reading.
This is a bonus video for this week, just because of the events that are happening around us. We're going to get back on our regular Seder Soul Sailing video next week on Monday, hopefully.
Yes. Thank you for watching.